It's Monday, June 23. In the headlines, Jamaica Constabulary Force making strides towards tech-driven policing. In business news, Dolphin Cove assets to be sold. Regionally, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States may reconsider its role in the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, the CSME. And in sports, Jamaica's National Junior and Senior Championships to start on June 26. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is on track to become a regional leader in tech-driven policing. That's the word from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, who praised the JCF's bold transformation during the opening of its People, Quality and Technology Expo. The four-day event, which ran from June 19 to June 22, showcased how the force is using innovation to modernize law enforcement and better serve Jamaicans. Our news team was there and caught the action.
Welcome to the Jamaica Constabulary Force's People, Quality and Technology Expo 2.0. Let's take a look inside.
We're here at the National Arena where we're having one of the staging of our JCF Transformations Expo 2.0, People, Quality and Technology. It's happening here simultaneously in Montego Bay at the Montego Bay Community College. And this expo is our biennial staging. We did it first in 2023. And based on the feedback then, people wanted more. And we have done more in terms of our transformation, because JCF is going through a rigorous process of transformation, and every day we are changing, every day we are improving. So we are using this opportunity just to showcase to Jamaica and the rest of the world how is it that the Jamaica Constabulary Force in 2025, the modern force that we are, how is it that we are bringing together our people, our quality and technology, impacting safety and security, has also given us the kind of results that we are seeing in Jamaica here today. I mean, it's a good depiction of our mantra for being a force for good. What we're putting on display, we have over 40 of our formations. And two of our highlights for this expo, the criminal investigation portfolio, as well as our community safety and security department. And the reason for that is that sometimes we see the cases being solved, we get the results in court that we like, but oftentimes we don't showcase the investigators who work tirelessly to ensure that the cases are well put together. How is it that department, they are using the technology such as the sciences, DNA, ballistic, forensic, so they get an opportunity to see firsthand and even to interact with some of the people who are behind it. Another feature of this expo as well, we are showcasing is our Mensa. So it's the mind, the intellect, the talent of the Jamaican people. And when you go inside, you're going to see technology products that are developed by members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We have one that is even an international award winner. Our geosystem that we use was developed by a member, and we just take it from there. And we see how we won the competition, competing with first world law enforcement agencies. So that's about our people. You will see training.
SSP Lindsay says the Jamaica Constabulary Force is raising the bar with certified training, upgraded technology, and a bold push to outpace tech-savvy criminals.
Our police college, our training programs, etc., we opened them up to scrutiny, and we are now certified to say that our process and our training program and our quality and our curriculum are of a particular standard. So our quality is right up there, and then we talk about the technology. In 2025, criminals are exploiting technology to their advantage. So it means, therefore, that the JCF, we have to be ahead of them, and we have to continue to evolve, because it is always evolving. So we are right there. So when you go in, you will get some demonstrations.
As the JCF continues its transformation journey, the focus remains on people, quality, and technology. Pillars the force says are key to building trust and delivering modern, effective policing.
A new housing development is now underway in Longville Park. The National Housing Trust has teamed up with Gore Developments to build more than 2,000 new homes at Longville Meadows in Clarendon. We have more in this report. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness broke ground on the multi-billion-dollar project, hailing it as one of the most ambitious in the NHT's history.
Longville Meadows represents a forward-looking model that aligns with our vision of orderly urbanization and balanced regional development. The modified guaranteed purchase program that supports this project is a testament to the government's commitment to innovation in the housing sector. Under this modified GPP, both the NHT and Gore Developments have pooled their land resources to ensure a larger, more efficient development. This level of collaboration demonstrates what we can achieve when public and private sector work together towards a shared national goal.
Dr. Holness says it's part of a wider vision for structured, sustainable growth across Jamaica.
Beyond building homes, we are building an entire community. Importantly, this development will include green spaces and recreational facilities, which are essential components in promoting healthy lifestyles, environmental sustainability, and social cohesion. These amenities are part of our deliberate planning to ensure that Jamaicans live not just in shelters, but in communities of pride and purpose.
The project falls under a modified guaranteed purchase program, which allows public and private partners to share land and resources, cutting costs and speeding up delivery. Gore Development's Managing Director, Christopher Gore, says the goal is to serve lower-income families, particularly in Clarendon and nearby towns.
Our goal is to create affordable quality homes with the convenience of your own land space, which will appeal to NHT contributors in Clarendon and surrounding areas, as there is a critical demand for affordable housing in this area. The new development enjoys its own entrance from the Freetown Main Road, with easy access to and from Freetown, Maypen, Old Harbour and Kingston.
Altogether, the project is expected to cost more than $25 billion. The NHT has already delivered 9,000 housing solutions in Clarendon since 1977. According to Dr. Holness, over the next decade, it plans to double that number, with Longville Meadows leading the way. At One Learning Space, students aren't just hitting the books, they're rolling up their sleeves, experimenting, and bringing big ideas to life. It's all part of a growing effort to transform how young minds engage with science, technology, and innovation across the Caribbean. The goal? To spark curiosity, build confidence, and make hands-on STEM education more accessible, not just for a few, but for all.
At Kids Tinkering Studio, students aren't just sitting through lectures. They're creating, building, and experimenting. Managing Director Astra Johnson said their excitement is obvious.
I walk through the school from time to time and I would hear them shrieking and screaming and so on. They love the science station, they love the science lab, they love doing experiments. They get to do those on their own. It's not the staff doing it for them, but they are following instructions and they're making their mistakes and so on. They enjoy that a lot. They love the innovation lab. They're always trying to figure out what new can I innovate or what new can I invent.
She said it's not just about fun. It's about giving them confidence and practical skills that can last a lifetime. But not all children have access to this kind of education. That's why Ms. Johnson and her team have taken their mission outside the walls of their school.
So we've taken KTS to the road, as we say. We're not just staying in our school, so we do camps, we're doing workshops, we are doing pop-ups, across the country.
She said the goal is to expand access, especially to children who might not otherwise get these opportunities.
Because we don't want STEM to be something that only the elite can have or only those who can afford can have, because we believe that each child should be given an opportunity to be involved in STEM education. And that is one of the areas that we are working so heavily with now.
And as the studio expands, she's hoping to shift how education is approached locally and regionally.
And that is our hope. It's our hope that when people visit, when they engage with our students and they hear the way they speak, how they articulate their thoughts, how much they know about so many things, that they would be open to, hey, listen, I need to be a part of that, It's our hope that we can change that mindset, that traditional education is awesome, but there is another way.
Looking ahead, the plan is to reach more communities in Trinidad and Tobago and eventually across the region.
We're going to Tobago pretty soon to give the children of Tobago a chance to experience STEM education. So it's not just for only if you can come to a school or not, because some parents have said, oh, we live so far, how are we going to experience this? My child is older than 5 or older than 6, already in a public school, so how are we going to experience this? So you just have to look out for those camps and pop-ups.
For Ms. Johnson, it's about more than running a school. It's about building a movement. And with a growing demand for innovation in education, she said KTS is challenging the traditional system. As the studio looks to expand into more rural communities and eventually across the Caribbean, Ms. Johnson is calling for an educational shift rooted in creativity, access, and confidence.
It is difficult for a child to sit still for long periods of time. It's difficult for children to be in classrooms where you have 30 and 40 voices shouting at a teacher. It's very difficult for a child to learn in chaos. So if you are experiencing challenges such as those, your child is not reading properly, they're not decoding properly, they're afraid to speak in class, they're afraid to speak up, they feel afraid to go to school, they feel bored, they feel as though they're not stimulated in a classroom, those would be key indicators that, hey, listen, I need to find something that's different.
Astra Johnson believes that what starts with curiosity and a toolkit could one day fuel national development and reshape how we think about learning.
The Health and Wellness Ministry is reminding Jamaicans of the importance of getting vaccinated and showing proof of yellow fever vaccination when traveling to and from affected countries. All persons older than 1 year who are traveling from a country where there is a risk of yellow fever transmission and persons who are transiting through a country with risk of yellow fever transmission for more than 12 hours are required to show proof of vaccination against yellow fever before entering Jamaica. In its latest epidemiological alert, the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, noted that in 2025 and as of May 25, 335 confirmed human cases of yellow fever have been reported in 5 countries in the Americas region, including 96 deaths. According to Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bissessa McKenzie, quote, while most people develop mild or no symptoms, a small number of persons can develop severe disease. Severe illness has a high mortality rate ranging from 20 to 60. It is therefore critical that persons who are traveling to endemic countries protect themselves by getting the vaccine. They will also protect the population by preventing any cases from coming into the country. End quote. Yellow fever vaccinations are administered at the Slipe Pen Road Comprehensive Health Center in Kingston on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. and the Montego Bay Type 5 Health Center in St. James on last Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at a cost of 1,500 Jamaican dollars. Jamaica is yellow fever free and has a travel requirement in place for yellow fever for travelers from several countries, including Angola, Argentina, Benin, Bolivia, Brazil, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Colombia, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ecuador, Ethiopia, French Guiana, Gambia, Ghana, Guyana, Kenya, Liberia, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Sudan, Suriname, Togo, Trinidad and Tobago, Uganda, and Venezuela. Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Dolphin Discovery Group, the Mexico-based parent company of Dolphin Cove, will sell some of its real estate assets to cover its debt now that the parent company is in bankruptcy. The legal aspect of the bankruptcy proceedings will take place in the United States. The development was revealed in a court by Leisure Investments Holding Limited, the main holding company for the Dolphin Discovery Group. Stephen Robert Strom, the sole administrator for Leisure Investments and its subsidiary, has sought court approval to hire Greenhill and Company LLC as investment bankers. Keen Summit Capital Partners has been retained as the real estate advisor and broker. Access Financial Services Limited has advised that the company is under consideration to receive a senior unsecured loan of up to Jamaican $774,700,000 from IDB Invest, a member of the Inter-American Development Bank Group. The company has further advised that the proposed funding will support Access' strategic objective to expand its micro, small, and medium enterprise loan portfolio. This loan expansion will focus on increasing financial access to women-led enterprises and growing the company's green loan offerings. The contemplated loan facility is structured as a senior unsecured instrument with a tenure of up to 7 years, inclusive of a moratorium period of up to 1 year. For the trading period ending June 20, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Food distributor Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances Limited with 1,938,487 units traded, representing 18.12% of market sales volume. Microfinance lender Dollar Financial Services Limited with 1,035,433 units traded, representing 9.68% of market sales volume. Cigarette distributor Carreras Limited with 851,346 units traded, representing 7.96% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rates set by the Bank of Jamaica. On June 20, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $49.36 million purchased and US $54.04 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.91 per dollar, selling the US at $160.93 and buying the US at $159.02. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.03 per transaction, with selling at $117.96 and buying at $116.93. The British pound yielded Forex traders $1.91 in profits, with selling at $216.32 and buying at $214.41. For our credit report tip of the day, whether starting over in life, from a career change, a personal setback, or a major move, often means needing access to financing without the safety net of significant assets. The good news, an improved credit score can open doors to funding without requiring collateral. Here are some ideas. With a higher credit score, lenders are more likely to approve unsecured loans which don't require you to pledge assets as collateral. Also, a good credit score means you're likely to receive lower interest rates on loans and credit cards, saving you money over time. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, the new Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Chairman, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, is warning that the sub-region may be forced to reconsider its role in the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME. At the OECS Authority meeting, Dr. Gonsalves raised concerns about persistent trade imbalances that he says favor larger CARICOM economies at the expense of smaller OECS states. Here's more in this report.
The newly appointed chairman of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, has indicated that the OECS may be compelled to re-evaluate its participation in the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the 77th meeting of the OECS Authority, Dr. Gonsalves raised serious concerns about persistent imbalances within the regional trading bloc.
The Bahamas, as a member state of CARICOM, is a beneficiary of all the non-CSME values of CARICOM, while opting out of the CSME provisions. The OECS countries may well, most reluctantly, by force of circumstances, have to put on the table the continued relevance of our participation in the CSME, while of course remaining in CARICOM until the inequities referred to herein are satisfied. In that or any event, we are called upon to fortify evermore the OECS.
Dr. Gonsalves cited systemic inequities as one of the main reasons why the OECS should consider such a move. He emphasized that when the OECS countries initially signed onto the CSME, it was with the understanding that there would be mutual benefits and equitable treatment among all member states.
We knew of the challenges, but we put in the balance at least three other considerations. First, the bundle of special treatment measures, inclusive of the CARICOM Development Fund, and a protective market for some of our commodities. Secondly, the more general and important CSME provisions relating to free movement of persons and capital and the like offered possibilities for the OECS. And thirdly, there was the vital consideration of the enduring value of belonging to CARICOM as an integrated community of nations and its functional cooperation work in health, education, disaster preparedness and security, and the coordination of our region's foreign policy.
However, according to the Prime Minister, the experience of OECS nations within the CSME has been far from balanced. He pointed out that these structural advantages have overwhelmingly favored larger CARICOM economies, often at the expense of the smaller, more vulnerable OECS member states.
It's evident that the trading arrangements of CARICOM have benefited the member states with a larger territorial and economic base, particularly in respect of manufacturing commodities. And the comparatively cheaper energy resource in Trinidad and Tobago has additionally made that country's manufacturing sector the uneven beneficiary from CARICOM's trade in commodities.
Dr. Gonzalez, the longest-serving head of government in the 15-member CARICOM, warned that unless these long-standing inequities are addressed, the OECS may be left with no choice but to reconsider its involvement in the CSME framework.
The Secretary General of the Organization of American States has praised Antigua and Barbuda for being the host of next week's 55th regular session of the General Assembly of the OAS. Ambassador Albert Ramdin spoke with ABS News as he arrived in the country Saturday afternoon. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says all is in place for the General Assembly, June 25 to June 27. Garfield Burford reports.
A historic General Assembly of the Organization of American States in more ways than one. It's the first time Antigua and Barbuda will be hosting, and it will also be the first General Assembly with a Secretary General from CARICOM at the helm of the organization. Ambassador Albert Ramdin arrived in the country on Saturday afternoon for next week's regular session. He praises Antigua and Barbuda for hosting the General Assembly.
It's great that a small country like Antigua and Barbuda with so long history, but the small population is hosting this General Assembly is no small feat. But last year, the SITS conference took place here, so we are very proud of Antigua and Barbuda. So thanks to the government and the people of Antigua and Barbuda to be our host for the coming days, almost a week.
Ambassador Ramdin is Suriname's foreign minister and was elected in March this year, succeeding Uruguayan diplomat Luis Almagro. He serves until 2030.
In terms of my own elections, it was, I would say, long overdue for CARICOM to take up leadership roles in political institutions in the hemisphere. We had the leadership in PAHO, the Pan American Health Organization, also in ICA, the agricultural organization, both very much part of the OES Inter-American system. But we never had the leadership in a political entity. And we live in very, I should say, interesting times with lots of changes taking place, lots of challenges, but also opportunities. So this is a great moment to provide leadership. And CARICOM was certainly central to this election. So thank you, CARICOM.
Ambassador Ramdin says crucial issues will be discussed.
I expect three things to come out from here. One is we will present our plan to make the OAS much more as a more relevant, important, recognized organization where there is much more confidence in multilateralism. So Antigua and Barbuda plays in that by organizing this an important role. Secondly, we would like to also focus on the critical issues which are currently playing out in the hemisphere. Haiti is foremost, but also electoral processes, democracy, human rights issues. And I hope that Antigua and Barbuda will not only demonstrate a divisive atmosphere, but more like a constructive, forward-looking agenda.
We begin our sports report with athletics. Jamaica's national junior and senior championships is set for June 26 to June 29. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Sharika Jackson, and Kishane Thompson are all set to headline the event. Athletes have also been assured of receiving ranking points for their participation, and performances will be used for qualification to all global championships. The World Championships have been set for September 13 to 21 in Tokyo, Japan, with the sports governing body establishing 2 windows between late July and mid-August, when federations can host their national championships without athletes needing to make a choice of where to compete. And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms. at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.